right, so the first person we're going to interview is Ryan.
Yeah, that's me, Ryan Jones.
Ryan, can you tell me more about your sweet car?
It's not a car, it is a truck, and it is a 2011 Chevy Silverado LTZ, if that matters. 6.2 liter V8. I had to have white. I waited until I found white. And I found it at Criswell Chevrolet, certified pre-owned, and I said I had to have it.
So tell me exactly why you decided to build the truck, you know, how it is now. Like, you know, what were you trying to achieve with it?
Well, at the time when I first started mining, I started with a level kit. I was going hunting, and I was going hunting on the Eastern Shore, and I was like, man, I'd really like to be able to take my truck out in the fields, have some more aggressive tires, have a little bit higher stance in the front, and just snowballed from there.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing a lot of the people who now watch our YouTube can now see that, you know, we've gone camping before. We've done a lot of off-road stuff in the past.
This is my camping vehicle.
Gotcha. Can you tell me more about it?
This is a Yakima Skyrise 3 HD. It's a 2+ person tent. Really, it's two people and a dog. But it is a full-size queen bed inside there. It folds out, flips out. Can get it deployed in about a minute. But setting up all the poles and the rain flies and getting the sheets on the bed, probably about 10-15 minutes tops. Get it all deployed. So that's where my tent is. And then on this side, I have my Yakima Skinny Warrior. That's where I keep my Max Tracks, my Fisker's axe, and my Crazy Beaver shovel. If I'm camping and sometimes need extra space, I'll take all this stuff off here and I'll strap all my stuff down here. My Plano cases, my whatever. I'll put all my stuff in there. Suspension is a mixed match. Basically, it's a rough country 6-inch Vertex pullovers, Zone upper control arms, 1.5-inch body lift Zone, Deaver leaf springs in the rear, and then I got the Fox Reservoir shocks in the rear. So it's not one brand, it's what I thought was best and worked for me. I had to experiment, but to get my ride perfect and to get the max wheel travel and all that stuff, no rubbing. Wheels and tires, we got 35-inch fuel, gripper MTs, and then the wheels are 18x9 Zephyr +1s. I had to do 18s, I couldn't go to 17s due to the changing the knuckle with the lift kit. That's what I really wanted, was 17s, but I couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
The other thing is I'm blind as a bat, so I had to get some nice headlights. So I got the Morimoto LED headlights. I got the Morimoto LED fog lights. Got the Baja Designs Squadron Pros. That's my ditch lights. Right here, you might be wondering what that is. That's my Midland GMSR radio. So talking two-way on the trails.
Nice.
What else did I do? It was chrome grill. That's what came with the LTZ. So I took apart the grill, I got it painted, I put it back together. Got a 30-inch rough country bar behind there. Also, for backing up and seeing the wheels at night, I put a set of rough country cubes right there. And you can see right at the corner of the wheel, the tire, and that way I'm not curbing anything. New school curb feelers.
All right, so one last thing. Do you have anything planned aside from this in the future?
I am done putting money on this, I wish, but really, I need to get a Pro Eagle jack. I'm gonna have to custom, I'm gonna custom down it right here, just so if I get a flat, I do have a full-size spare, but if I get a flat, I'll be able to change it. Hopefully in the future, I'm looking to upgrade to the iCamper 2.0 in the back, just to have a instant up and down setup. And other than that, just fluids, spark plugs, maintenance stuff. I just hit 100,000 miles, so I'm gonna change all the fluids, all that, keep everything up to date like I have the whole time I've had the truck. I haven't had one issue with this truck, except for a window regulator.
Nice. All right. And one last thing can you say? Now on to the next person.
All right, guys, now on to the next person.
Look at this beaut.
Look at that view.
Our next person is Tony. So Tony, can you tell me more about this beauty right here?
This is a 1994 Mitsubishi Montero LS. I use it for camping. for winter. Pretty much all stock vehicle. Only thing that I did basically was do all the camping supplies, the tent, the awning, all by Yakima. Bike rack, fog lights in the front, and 1552 wheels. And that's about it. Other than that, it's pretty much stock.
Gotcha, gotcha. So how did you get so lucky to find one of these?
Actually, one of my oldest and closest friends that I grew up with owned this vehicle in Colorado. I was looking for one, and he was gracious enough to sell me this vehicle. So I bought it from Colorado, shipped it here, and that's it. Now I have it. Now it's mine.
Gotcha. So is this the only one you have, or?
No, I do have another one that has been here at the shop for a while. I bought just as like a rebuild type truck, just something fun to mess with and tinker with. So I do have 2 of these. I have a few other vehicles at home, but this gets the most use besides my daily driver.
Gotcha, gotcha. So can you tell me more about the setup you're running right now? Like, you know.
So I have a Yakima medium tent. That's the polar tent on the roof. I ran custom track on this because the roof isn't weighted enough. The factory rack isn't weighted enough to hold the tent. So I did custom Yakima track, Skyline towers, HD bars. The Slim Shady is on the other side, and I just recently acquired bikes from Dave. Thank you very much. So now I recently installed 2-bike 5th wheel holder, so I can take the bikes with me when we go camping. It gives us another thing to do while camping.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, everything's OE. I'm not a real big, huge aftermarket guy. I kind of like stuff old and original.
Cool. So is there anything about, you know, the whole wheel setup that maybe you want to tell us about, maybe like what you're running?
Nothing crazy. It's simple. It's 16s. I don't go oversized wheels and tires. These things fit perfectly. They were made for the vehicle. And I got plenty of sidewall for if I take it off-road. Other than that, it's pretty much just a simple setup that gets the job done. Oh, I also installed those lockers. Forgot to say that. Manual hubs. It's a must for all Montero owners.
Can you show us the interior?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's pretty clean.
Oh, just what's it, 5-speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. Everything's original. Radio's original.
Clean and simple.
Exactly.
That's what it should be.
Exactly.
You know, like a lot of times we tell like people, like, you don't need a lot to make a statement, you know. Like,
no, like this thing will do everything any other vehicle that we go with can go, you know, that we ride around with can do. I mean, it's got lockers, it's 4-wheel drive, it's everything. It's geared correctly. Like, this was like a time capsule. This thing was kind of ahead of its time when it was built. So there's not much you need to get, you know, to get where you need to go with it. Maybe a little higher off the ground would help if you're like really 4-wheel driving and off-roading, like crawling it. But as far as like the dirt roads and the back roads to get where you're going, if you want to go camping or, you know, access roads or anything like that, there's nothing else you need. It does the job perfectly.
That was Tony's Montero. Beautiful. We'll get on to the next person.
Adios, amigos.
Hi guys, this is Will from No Limit.
This is Will at No Limit.
Say no. Alright, Will, can you tell me a little bit more about your car?
When I was about 21, I owned a red one, which was my second one. It was a non-turbo. I wanted a turbo one really bad. I saw this one for sale. Didn't care about anything except the fact it was turbo. My uncle was equally excited and helped me purchase the car, and he allowed me to pay him back. It took about a year, but he allowed me. He was cool with it. He had an Evo that he was modifying, and fast forward a little bit, it got to a point to where me and him got to race, and I beat him, and he was tickled to death that he helped me buy the car, and years later I beat him in a race. It was fun.
So tell me, why out of any other car in the world, you know, would you get an RX-7?
Fast and Furious.
Really?
The very first Fast and Furious, when it came out, I was, gosh, it was so long ago. I was still in high school, or right out of high school. I was right in that neighborhood at that time. I think I was still in high school. Me and my buddy would walk to the theater to see the movie, and I must have seen it almost 10 times in theater. And Dom's RX-7, there was a shot in one of the first race where it went through the engine and you seen rotor spinning. And my buddy was like, what was that? That was not pistons. So we looked into it, and then right up the street was one for sale for like 500 bucks. I was like, well, guess what? I'm buying it. So I bought it, and it barely ran, and we spent some time trying to get it run. It ran sometimes, and I loved the car so much that not being able to get it run and selling it before it ran, I couldn't wait to buy another one that actually ran and I could drive it. And that's when I got the red one.
So your passion has gone so far that, I mean, word asset that you've owned how many already?
3.
3 RX-7s. Like one wasn't enough.
This one ate a big hole in my pocket.
All right, any cool stuff you've done to it so far, or?
Well, I've done everything that I'm going to do to this one because it is for sale. And I have done virtually nothing suspension or body wise, and that's probably pretty noticeable just by looking at the car. It was in better shape in the beginning. We could probably flash up a picture of when I first had it. It was nice and gloss. But I basically spent the last decade building the motor, and I did it twice. The fault is my own, but I built it really well. And the second time I built it even better with more upgraded parts. High price everything. Basically the builder was like, this is what you should have, and I was like, do it. So we did it, and it made a lot of power, and it's been a lot of fun meanwhile. Well, not always fun, but mostly fun.
All right, so talking a lot of power now. I'm guessing people will want to see.
Well, it's for sale, and it might sell this weekend. Me and her are gonna part ways. So with that said, I would love to do a burnout for you, but I'd love not to break it right before I sell it. So again, we could probably flash up some old footage. She's a mess. I've neglected her for some years, cosmetically. Dusty, rusty, and neglected, you know. But the important parts are over here on this side. We have the BMORE Supercars Turbo. It is a hybrid. I have a Racing Beat down pipe. I have a custom made mid pipe. There is no cat. It's 3-inch all the way back to the Racing Beat wide pipe where there's the 2 mufflers. Hiding underneath the intake manifold is brand new fuel rails and injectors. There's 4. I'm running 1000cc and 1600cc. I got the Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator. I got an Aeromotive 340 fuel pump. I have brand new braided fuel lines from the tank all the way forward. With that said, I also have excellent cooling. This thing almost never even sees operating temperature with how well it cools. I believe this is a 4-Taurus fan. The radiator, I'm not sure of the brand, but it holds up very well. It was converted from the old shroud, the old school style. Intake is just K&M filter on a very short ram there, just to because I couldn't get the filter right on the turbo like I wanted. eBay intercooler kit, but it works very well. Greddy Type RS. I want to say a Type RS blow-off valve. It sounds incredible. Internally is where it's really done. It's heavy street port. It's a very large street port. So it has that rep idle that everybody loves about rotary. It has 2-piece corner seals. They're made by a company in Canada. Their material and their building methods are proprietary, but these same seals are in 3 of the fastest rotary cars in the world. So very good internally built. And then monitoring, I got a couple of gauges here. Air fuel, because that's important obviously. Oil pressure and oil temperature. That's all innovative. I like their stuff. I try to do as good a brand as I can. If you peek in there again, the tuning is done via standalone Apex Power FC. You can see the commander down there in the center. But obviously for the big boy tuning, you put the laptop into it. It's seen like hours and hours and hours of tuning time to get the power out of it. I hit just under 400. It was 396 to the wheels at 15 pounds of boost. So I could take it farther, but that was enough for me. And then HKS EVCS boost controller. I cheaped out on a boost controller once, and it was a bad idea. It was horrible, so I got a good one after that.
So you cover a lot, so.
Yeah, I could probably talk for hours and hours about this car as long as I've had it as much as I've done with it. But it's time to part. I've moved on. I have other things I want to do in my life, and hopefully she treats the next person as good and bad as she treated me.
So what do you plan to get next?
What am I going to get next?
Yeah.
Well, Tony is kind enough to pay it forward from a deal that he got and actually give me his BMW E46. It's a 99 3 Series. He's actually going to give it to me. It needs a little bit of TLC. It's automatic, and it runs very well. He used it for years. And with that blessing, I'm going to drive that and probably till the wheels fall off.
So you're talking about camber, right?
Camber? What? No, sir.
So, see, Will's not a big Stancy boy.
No.
Unlike his brother.
I used to have dreams of doing this and doing that, but these days, honestly, I just like a car that drives well and treats me good.
Nice. Oh, awesome. Well, that's Will's little RX-7. And on to the next person.
Alright, so Will was supposed to kick off this outro, but he's super busy up front right now. We're handling all the customers we got flowing in. So if you are enjoying this new series we have called On the Fast Lane, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification button for future content. We're dropping weekly of all the fresh cars across the East Coast. We're bringing you cool cars, awesome builds, right in our own backyard. So if you're enjoying that, please do hit the like and subscribe button and turn on your notifications for more future content. Peace out, guys.